Microphone check, check, check. Welcome, family, to all my MQT lovers, my Buddhists. I'm back at long last. I'm sorry for not having been able to do the show last week, but it's been crazy. Yes, indeed. Really, 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 really hectic. So much work related to the finalization of the album, and it's done, finished. Obviously, music composition, mixing, mastering part of things is handled, and uh, now it's just a lot of technical stuff. Making sure that credits. It's just a lot of tech related matters now being handled by yours truly, and then the label will do its part. We have the team on lock. Everybody's ready. First single's gonna start dropping next month. So from this point on, we 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 on. Wow, 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 family. First and foremost, I don't know what's going on with my image. There's a weird, like, sort of like cloud in front of on top of my head. I've been trying to set it up to see what's going on, but it's weird. Anyway, um, you know, it's all good. It's all good. Erica, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you. Yes, indeed. Well, it's 30 songs actually, 30 songs, and it really is a feel-good album, an album that was very much inspired by a lot of things that I went through. Just like any body of work, it has to speak on or of experiences and such. And yeah, man, with everything that we went through, this past 2 years, I just feel like we need. I mean, I needed to give you guys just a feel good project, and it really feels good. It really feels really, really good. It's meditative. It's profound. It's fun. It's melancholic at times, but it's very, very, very beautiful, beautiful, very, very beautiful album. I'm really, really proud of it. And as I've said, this year I'm celebrating 20 years in the music industry, as a career and as an artist, as a producer, etc. And so, I want to also reflect the closing of a trilogy that started with my first album, Invocation, the second Transition, and this one Manifestation. So, it's exciting times, but we'll get to speak on that at length when the time is right. And I believe I've touched on the topic several times. But first and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. For those of you who've recently subscribed to the channel, be very welcome. This is the environment, your space where you can just get in touch with the various topics that we myself and my guests, or just me alone, as I'm alluded to tonight, touch and try to speak on with as much knowledge and heart as one can possibly do. So welcome each and every one of you. Thank you very much, Lorraine. Et votre rire, je suis sûr que ça sera un autre niveau. Absolument, absolument. Ça va être un très 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 bon niveau. Soyez-en certaines et certains. Christelle, merci, 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 merci beaucoup. It's a singular mingi. So this body of work really took a lot of energy, as you can imagine. And it's interesting. Interestingly enough, Friday last week. So on Friday, I didn't do quarantine grooves because I was just emotionally drained. I literally could not, do the show. Obviously, I'm a man. I would never know what it is to deliver a baby, and so I'm not pretending that I know. And it's funny that I even have to say that, but better to mention that as an obvious fact. But it really felt like a part of me was just, something not detached, but it just felt strange. Like if I'd given birth to something and it's no longer in me, like it's out of me, it's there. It's visible, tangible, it's numbered, it's sequenced, it's like, pop, pop, pop. You know what I mean? It's like you see, it was abstract and then now it's concrete. So any of the emotions that I have gathered, any emotions that I had, concocted, any of the things that I went through, like I went through, oh my God, man, so many emotional turmoils. Everything got released. So it's like, oh shit, I'm no longer, dealing with these emotions in the same form I was dealing with, when I was making the album. So, I just needed the weekend. I just needed the weekend to like really, okay, take a moment, appreciate, acknowledge, give thanks, really be in a state of gratitude, and really take the measure of what it is that yeah, man, I've been blessed to do and create. So, Emmanuel Chen, what's going on? Merci beaucoup, merci. With that being said, and today I was like, I want to talk about reasons of the heart, right? What pushes someone to go on such a journey of writing 30 new songs and doing that in a rather short amount of time. And why do we do what we do? Why is heart such an important aspect of things where you have too much of it or a lack of it, but eventually it's always coming back to the heart? That beat is really what keeps things going. That was really what keeps movement and movement to occur, to happen, and to just manifest life. Whether it's filled with the energy that you fill it with. It could be sorrow, sadness, love, light, laughter, whatever. Gratitude. I have to say that that's really what this whole thing was for me. There's a mixture of that, a massive mixture of that, sorrow, sadness, and loneliness, and this and that and the other, but also gratitude. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what has been the fuel throughout my existence, really, understanding that, what, you can't really live your life fully without acknowledging the fact that these are emotions that will be happening and will be present in your life for as long as you are living, it seems. That doesn't mean that, it's got to be all sad and all, but it's a reality. And as any reality, it's never easy to accept, because everybody want to be super happy. Everybody want to be like, why can I ever be happy? Why can anything ever go right? The truth is that if you really look deep enough, things are actually going the way they're supposed to go. But, your heart can be stubborn sometimes, right? Sometimes you want something so much with your heart, but technically, tangibly, realistically, it doesn't match. Like there is a necessity to understand and dissociate as well sometimes from, the things that you hold on to, And if there's one thing that I've noticed through my experience, my personal experience with trauma, with pains, and stuff that can potentially injure you in your interaction with other human beings, men, women alike. You acknowledging the fact that you are not to be defined by these emotions, but you just are to acknowledge them for what they are. Just a moment in time. Just a phase to go through, to strengthen, to draw energy, to draw knowledge from, to draw consequences from, and understanding that, okay, next time I'm gonna set things up in a different way so that this particular occurrence doesn't, ever manifest itself again, right? But the heart is very stubborn. The heart is really, it's an organ that is extremely strange because it almost feels, and that's me philosophy right now. It almost feels like the heart is this mind of its own kind of organ within the system. And it really is if you think about it. But technically, it's an organ that keeps you alive. But funny enough, when you feel pain, when you feel sorrow, when you feel like, intense, negative, or positive things, it's your heart. Right? It's your heart that vibrates, it's your heart that receives that energy, that provides that energy. And I wonder if the energy that the heart provides it isn't actually an energy of love, light, and just pure, honest, you know, good vibrations. And the energy that your mind or that you tend to give yourself is the opposite. And it seems like the system, society, the way we were raised, and sentiment of guilt, etc., which to a certain extent, I think people pushed a little bit too far the concept of like, not giving a fuck about anything. You've got to really give a little bit of fuck on stuff and over stuff, because there's just got to be some limits to what people can potentially, decide to do as a abuse of their freedom when it comes to, their interaction with another human being. The freedom to hurt somebody willingly, or the freedom to just do anything silly that may affect, which is normal. You have to go through these phases in order to know not to do them, or to learn that, oh shit, I should not do that next time, right? So there's no user notice coming along, but there's got to be some sort of like understanding that, okay, shit, I cannot be defined by the reality around me, even though it influences me, and I am a product of my environment for sure. But am I really a product of my environment like that? I look at people, I speak to some people that I know are dealing with very, very negative people in their families or around them, friendship, and they feel stuck. And they feel like they can't let go of them, or they're not giving themselves the permission to just be free of these, energetical vampires. And sometimes people you love the most are energetical vampires. It's okay, it happens. You got to be aware of it, and you got to make sure that you rebalance, refocus yourself in such a way that allows you to truly, I think, work towards not being such a taker, right? Some people just don't want to do that. Some people are just like, yeah, no. I'm here to take, and I'll give very little. I'll give just enough for you to feel content, because you have so much love in your heart. You're so giving that if I give you a little bit, it's gonna be enough. That little bit I'm giving you is gonna be like the world to you, because you do everything from heart. So, feel me? But that's where one has to learn not to continuing such things, because you're gonna get lost in the environment you're in, which is eventually gonna be making you a toxic person yourself, or a vampire, as a matter of fact. You are the result of your environment, but you don't have to be the victim of that environment. And it's easier said than done. Yes, I know. And again, it's contextual, so don't take me out of context. I'm keeping things, very general now. So, it's very important to understand that these applications only work in certain, instances. And I think that in this particular case here, we're just talking about like things you can actually change, things you can actually exert some power of some sort of motion towards an exit, or towards a situation that will be benefiting you, and your mental health, and your balance, and your equilibrium. So learning how to select the people around you is very important. And that doesn't mean that you've got to be like, fuck off, I don't want to talk to you, whatever. I mean, you can do that as well if that's how you want to treat somebody who's not being respectful or considerate to you. I mean, to each their own. But I think that ultimately, a lot of people do and go through what they go through, and we don't know what it is that they're going through, and they react based on that, right? Again, product of their environment. So they'll attack you, but it's actually not you they're attacking. They're just reacting to whatever stimulated them in this negative way earlier today or the day before, whatever, and they're holding on to that energy, or that energy is lingering around them, and it's really having this effect on your interaction with that person. And then if you as well, you are, not detached, you're gonna get and feel aggressed. You're gonna feel like, okay, this energy is, oriented towards me, so it must be a problem that this person has with me, when deep inside that person has probably no issues whatsoever with you, but you happen to be there at that moment. It's like, you're gonna get the punch, you're gonna get that vague of that wave, sorry, of negative flow. And it's how you navigate that. You know what I mean? You can either surf it, or you can just get completely overwhelmed by it. And sometimes it takes you a minute to shake it. Sometimes it takes you much longer. Sometimes it takes you a lifetime. Because that energy can be transmitted and shown and given to you. Not even given to you, but forced onto you in a way that is, varies from one person to another, and from which degree and context you're in to another. So, I really feel like, that's right, Erica. Boundaries. They changed my life. Boundaries put energy vampires at bay. Sure. I think that I really have sympathy for vampires, because and by some vampires we call energetical vampires, people that whenever they're around you, they drag you down. They find a way to just suck the life out of you. It's funny enough, I have a very good friend of mine who's like that. It's not that person's fault. I mean, technically, they're being victim of the way they're looking at life. And because the way they look at life is so pessimistic, so negative, and always so belittling towards themselves within this reality that they're living in, they're calling life, that they can never really be happy for another person. They never even see the blessings that come into their lives, because they're just too stuck on their bullshit, right? And I really think that, oh, you're very welcome, sister. You're very welcome. I mean, it's just my little experience, and I love to think and I love to meditate on things, and I'm just hoping that this resonates with you, and it seems to be. So give thanks, and as I was saying, the sympathy that it is like, what, I get it, because somebody who's an energetical vampire is really stuck on ego, right? So there's different degrees of that. It doesn't make you less of it, but you've got to understand that sometimes, yes, in a relationship, for example, like, you're gonna have to give more energy than the other, right? Because the other needs it. So that is it because the other is a vampire, or is it just because that they need a recharge, and once they get that recharge, boom, they start, it's like the balance of things, the equilibrium is reestablished, and there is a better flow of energy between both parties. I think that's nothing to do with being a vampire. And I think my understanding and my reading of vampire would be very much like, Rastafarian kind of like a look into that concept. It's like, it really is, that negative, low vibrating frequency that tends to consistently attack you, consistently shake your bases, consistently move you and try to shift you from one position to another, and that other position is usually always negative, always on a lower level of frequency and vibration. And I think that really is something that you are not to fall victim of. The truth is that you're very much in control. But I really noticed, again, when people close to me and I observed, and I said, and even me, when I went through a heartbreak, for example, right? Those are the shit that hits me the hardest. I mean, probably most of us, but they hit me hard, especially when like really deep into it, and very invested. There's a very interesting thing about pain. It's addictive. It's addictive in the sense that, it's almost like you crying, you're mourning the loss of, love, or, and again, we're not talking about the loss of someone, because that's a different kind of pain. Obviously, that's understandable. But I mean, that relationship or whatever it may be, feels like a part of you is taken away, right? Um, and 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 it feels like impossible at first to get it back, you know. And some people go really, really deep. I mean, and it's gonna take the time it's gonna take. So the danger is to try not to be falling into the dependency to the pain, the dependency to, like, you know, having to feel that way in order in order to justify the reasons why you're not changing things. You know, I think that's really the issue. Joel Amen TV, thank you very much for tuning in, brother. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Merci. That's right. Make sure you press that like button, family. I need to see those likes up. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And show some love at the super chats, of course, super stickers. Do not hesitate. It's very important. Support your show, support your artist, support your content creator. Indeed, if you see value in what is being offered to you on this platform. And so, you know, yeah, as you hold into this pain, it gives you a justification to be in pain, to stay in pain, right? You know, but why are you doing what you're doing? Well, because I can't do anything else. Really? Because the pain is too much this. Oh, no, I'll do this tomorrow. And, you know, it gets very frustrating. It gets very, very frustrating because you're just like, okay, I want to help, but you're not letting me help you. So you know what? The best help I can give you, or I can, well, in that case, and again, that's a conversation between you and yourself, right? You, yourself, and I, right? Me, myself, and I. It's like, okay, come on, dude, shake it. No, but you know, it's so painful. Come on, shake it. You know you can do. No, but it's so hard. So it's like, all right, cool. You know what? Take the time you need. You know, it is what it is. You know, if you want to be moping around and stuff, then be that, do that fully. And it's okay, you know. But it's what is not okay is to then allow you to stand in victimhood, and that's where the issue resides. Erica, I feel you, bro. Vampires aren't everyone. Some people are trying to find their way, and we need to be compassionate with one another. I was once lost too and found my way. Exactly. Juan says, hello from Switzerland. Thank you very much. Hello to you back. Wherever you are located in the world, greetings, salutations, and thank you for tuning in. Make sure you press those like buttons, please. Very important. Press the like, and drop a comment as well. You know, not only in the chat, but you know, make sure that you drop it in the comment section of the actual video. It's always nice to hear your feedbacks. And so, you know, finding yourself is a constant search, because you will find yourself constantly in different settings, different situations, different environments. So the you that you were 15, 20 years ago is not the you that you are now, or the you that you're going to be tomorrow. I'm very much aware of that. And I noticed that since I was really looking back a little bit on my life, and I was like, damn it, man. You know, funny, because when the more I get older, the more I realize how much little time I didn't have then, but how much little time I have now for things that are not of added value to my existence. And I really think that, merci beaucoup, merci. And I really think that understanding your value is one of the hardest things to do. It's one of the most complicated search that one has to embark on. It's a serious adventure on some Indiana Jones type shit. Like, it's gonna take you places. But I can guarantee you that the results obtained as you really are willing go deep, dive deep into the shit that you don't like, that you don't want to see, will allow your heart to be more clear with the reasons that it's chasing, or that it's purchasing, or that it's considering as valuable. The heart and the mind are very opposite in my observation. In that sense, it's like, if you the more you hurt, the more protections you build. The more protections you build, the weaker you are. Actually, you're not strong, because the more you protect yourself from something, it shows that your base is not strong. And there's going to be that somebody that's going to have that key. I know I said that exact sentence in probably one of those early MQTs. But somebody with the key is going to come and cancel all the firewalls you raised, because you've not worked on the essence of your problem. You've not worked on the patience that it requires. Find healing, find peace within your heart, your soul, and your spirit. It takes a lifetime, yo. But I can tell you from my personal experience and my personal practice, I'm rigorous into making sure that I follow a certain routine, because I know that this routine is structuring me, and it's allowing me to really be accountable to myself first and foremost. Because every moment that challenged my peace, my stability, my safe haven, should I say, is an opportunity to strengthen my basis even more. You feel me? Take a moment and listen in. I really do. Take a moment and listen into your heart. What are you hearing? What are you reading? It's not easy, man. Because a lot of the time we have a cloth of lies surrounding our vision, our hearts. Sometimes it's not even a cloth of lies, it's just, what you see is what it, yes, you see what you're seeing, you're right, but it's the potential, it's not the reality. And I think one of the big issues that we have, we are amazed by the potential. We are amazed by what appears to be. That's why, when somebody posts a nice looking picture of themselves, which is a captured moment, it's a captured instant, it's a very specific energy at that moment that was taken and immortalized in a way. That is a given moment in the infinite possibilities of reality that exists. There is so many realities you can live in one specific minute, or in 10 minutes. From the moment you took that picture to what's happening next, you don't know. So what I'm trying to say here is this. Of course, I'm not denying the fact that me, I'm a very visual person, so I need to see. My eyes need to eat first. Like, the way you've got to be like, it's like food, right? Oh my God, it looks tasty, but it might not always be. So looks are deceiving, and one has to really be able to understand and appreciate that. Okay, it's factual. It can be deceiving, but you know what? Yeah, sometimes it's okay to just look and be like, hey, that looks nice. That opportunity looks great. That relationship might be great, but you know what? It's not 100% clicking. It's not 100% clicking. And when it's not 100% clicking, there's no reason forcing it. Because when you're going to force it and you're going to be like, oh my God, this is all I want in my life. This is what I really want. Please, God, you're going to be granted your wish. But sometimes that wish that was not necessarily, it was not prescribed on your journey for that specific moment. Because you rushed, well, you're going to get a rushed gift. You're going to get a rushed decision or irrational decision, because a heart makes irrational decisions. Sometimes, I'm not saying that it's all the time the case. That's why you've got to be able to listen in so that you can distinguish the noise from the actual, music. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but taking time to really listen to your heart, listen to yourself, listen to what bothers you, appreciate what bothers you, understand that certain pain will not go away. They will diminish with time, but they will not go away forever. Because you know what? It's like a scar in your skin. It's there to remind you. But as time goes, the pain, you don't feel it anymore. Yeah, you have a sensation of the difference in texture, but you won't feel the pain anymore unless you bring yourself back to that time when you had that pain. That's when you're gonna be like, you're gonna have a memory of that pain. But even that memory will be a distorted version of the pain that you felt. All that to say what? Being true to yourself requires for you to be truly honest with yourself. I've done it, hella fucking painful. Believe me, I know. Saying the truth about your shit is like, oh fuck, man. You turn around, you wonder if there's somebody else saying, no, it's just you yourself and you. But it's so amazing because it's empowering, because then you really acknowledge and you really value and you really welcome the fragility, right? Because there's nothing weak in being fragile a little bit and actually in really embracing all aspects of your personality. Can't really be toxic to yourself and say, no, I can't feel this. Look, you have the right to feel however you wish to feel. What you, however, I think don't have the right to do to yourself is to see yourself as less as anyone else. Is to belittle yourself. Is to think of you as not deserving anything but mediocrity. Well, believe me, if that's what you think, that's exactly what you're going to be attracting, and that's what you're going to be, whether you want it or not. Because you've decided, you've been so sure, you're so sure of yourself, you decided in your heart, that's what I want. Oh, I don't want this, I don't want that. The heart doesn't hear that. It hears, the heart, as it listens to you, understands, oh, that's what I want. The more of the things you don't want, and again, I'm switching things here because technically it's a subconscious mind. So it's a conversation between you and your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind doesn't think, executes. It's it's through that you can do things mechanically, like you close the door, or you have this automatism. Yes. And the more you speak to your subconscious mind, your heart, however you want to call it, it's actually different concepts and ideas and approach. But for sake of examples and conversation here, and in the context of this conversation, I want to mix them up a little bit and just be like, all right, cool. I need to truly listen in to what my heart has to say, to what my heart has to grieve about. Give it the soothing, the healing, the love, and all of that it requires. Because as much as you want to get it from someone else, you will not. Let's be very clear on that. You will not necessarily get it from someone else. And even if you do, and you lack giving it to yourself, you're going to start hurting people. And that you want to avoid, I believe. So, yeah, man. Reasons of the heart are very complex. But the more you're in tune, the less you try to fight it, the less it's going to pose you problems when you're going to try to shift the direction that it's trying to take. Because you understand the reasons. I'll give you a very tangible example. Your heart loves somebody. And your mind is like, look, man, that's that somebody has rejected you, there's no way, whatever. Your heart still believes there is a possibility. So that possibility, that hope can be overwhelming, of love and positivity and optimism. but it's not based on reality, and the reality is the actual words you're hearing. So sometimes, yes, you're right. Yeah, what that person didn't really mean, he or she didn't mean to say what they say. Actually, true deep inside, he or she loves me. Yeah, but no. Technically, it's a different kind of love, and technically, just fucking move on. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. But the moment you're starting to appreciate and listen to this kind of observation, you're like, okay, cool. Shit. Oh, that's painful. Oh, this. Oh, that's that. But you work in tandem. You work hand in hand together with your heart, right? Your mind and your heart are starting to like collaborate and understand one another, and understand. Okay, how are we gonna go about this? How are we gonna go about that? And all right, cool. What are we doing? Okay, stop driving because you're taking us nowhere. I'm taking control. Me, the mind, I'm taking control. Pragmatically, and we're gonna go from this point to this point, and we're gonna do it this way, this way. No, but hold on. Me, the heart, I want to take. Nah, dude. all this time, you've been stuck in one place, dreaming of going from one point to another. I'm gonna take us to the next phase. And there's guilt of letting people behind, letting go of people. That is very, 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 very poignant and very difficult a lot of the time. But I really believe that there's so much strength, so much courage in doing that, that what may appear to be as a, super, super complicated choice to make can be the very moment of your salvation. That's how you may salvage your whole entire being from falling and drowning into this abyss. And yet, sometimes again, that's the interesting fact of life. That sometimes you gotta be taken by the abyss so that you can come back anew, right? There's no set rules. That's what I'm trying to say. It's all in movement. But it's sometimes difficult to accept the movement, but it's important to acknowledge the movement and to be like, okay, well, whether I want it or not, things will move. And either adapt to the movement, I even try to take a lead on the movement, or it will move me. And that won't necessarily always be a very comfortable situation. Flexibility of the mind, flexibility of the heart comes with listening into your heart and allowing your mind to express itself as well, because the mind wants to control. You want to control. Your ego is like, you gotta control your ego. You know what? You need a bit of ego. You need a little bit of that to allow you to sort of like set certain, boundaries, as Sister Erica was saying earlier. But again, you gotta check yourself. It's complex, but it's simple at the same time. It's basically, if you're hurting, telling yourself that you're not hurting is not gonna help you. Allowing yourself to acknowledge the hurt and acknowledge that you need a bit more time will allow you to still be moving, even as you're hurting, but you'll be moving toward re-educating yourself to live a life with the pain, with the hurt, as if you were, being rehabilitated into your own self, into your own body, learning how to move, with something that could be limiting you, like if a part of you was gone, but technically it's not, it's still there. It's just the attachment. So there's also work on detaching from the attachment. It's so much layers, and I know it seems super fucking heavy, but I'll tell you and repeat to you again, please go and check out the likes of Joe Dispenza, who speaks at length, in depth on matters of the heart and, this quantum flow and all these things, which I find amazing. But you have a lot of amazing, inspirational humans who have done the work to really dive deep into why we behave the way we behave, what we do, um, and I'm somebody who's always been very passionate of about trying to answer these questions. You know, from losing my older brother at a very young age to all these things. I was posing a lot of questions to my parents that they could not respond to outside of the scriptures, or using examples that you know they understood were the only resources that they had access to. Whereas now we just have so much more access, so much more capacities to understand even deeper and to look even deeper. So let's not be frugal in the energy that we consent for ourselves and for our mental balance, our healing. Let's actually go all in. Let's invest everything we have in ourselves, in our hearts, in our mind, in our soul, so that we can journey in this existence right now with the best potential of love and just, understanding, and that doesn't make me less of an alpha male. That doesn't make me less of a man. It just makes me very much, I think, more in tune and in balance and in harmony with everything that makes me me, instead of lying to myself the way I used to and hiding myself behind whatever walls I was creating. That's that, family. That's today's convo. Just wanted to touch on that. And I thank each and every one of you for, tuning in and dropping some comments and, helping those lights go all the way up. I appreciate that. That's truly appreciated. And yeah, man, as always, it's with profound gratitude that, I have you join me in these conversations, and I share with you my personal little, impressions and thoughts on, my journey in this thing we call life. And, hopefully it can be resonating with you and anyone watching this. But with that, yeah, man, do your research, dig deeper. And it's okay. It's okay to cry, it's okay to hurt, but it's better to always work on vibrating at the highest potential of positivity with gratitude. Because sometimes even the hurt is good, because you can't know love without pain. As fucked up as it sounds, but it's true. You can't value something if you don't have a lack of it. And yeah, because as human beings we have a tendency to abuse. So strength, something that is much deeper than how we look at it and how we think of it. That's a conversation for another time. This Friday, for those of you who are in London, I'm going to be Friday the 17th. No, hold on, it's 14th tomorrow, 15th, 16th, 17th. Yes, Friday the 17th. I'm going to be in London at Prince of Wales in Brixton for the After House party brought to you by Drums Radio. And joining me will be brother Shimza, the great Shimza from South Africa. We will be playing Behind the Wheels of Steel at Prince of Wales in Brixton this weekend coming, 17th of September. Come through, go online on my Instagram to see the info line for getting your tickets. Yeah, for those who are willing to watch Quarantine Grooves, I'm going to be pre-recording the show Friday. So as I'm traveling, it's Thursday. So as I'm traveling Friday, the show will be obviously premiering on my channel, so you'll be able to still watch the show. Again, I'm sorry that last Friday and last Monday I couldn't do any of the shows, but as I explained earlier, it's just been crazy busy finishing the album, which is now officially ready as far as production is concerned, and now we move into the next phase of the production. So we're aiming at a release for next year, and believe me, the wait is really worth it. Family, as always, thank you. You still have a couple of seconds to make some donations. If you haven't yet, it's fine. Make sure you do show some love as well. Friday, tune in, share the show, share the links, let people know about this channel. And yeah, man, it's it's uh, it's always cool. Well, cool to have you logged in. It's not in Montreal. I don't know if I said Montreal. I'm sorry, my bad. I said London. Sorry, Brixton, Prince of Wales, London next week. Sorry, so if I said Montreal, which I'm not sure if I said that or not, but anyway, if I said Montreal, no, it's in London. So anyone in London, this weekend, I'm going to be at Prince of Wales in Brixton with Shinta. Montreal, we will see how things pan out, but something might happen very, very soon. Just be on the lookout. All right, fam. Yo, once again, thank you, Erica, Lorraine, John Cesar, Joël Amen TV, Emmanuel Etienne, Estelle. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with me tonight. And anyone else watching the show as a replay, thank you for doing so. And if you got this far, well, that means that I was able to keep your attention. Y'all have a blessed rest of your week. And remember, vibrate as high as you can be, even when you feel like there's no reason for you to vibrate at that level. Believe me, it's actually when you're able to rise above the bullshit that you shine the brightest. Not when you take part in the bullshit. Even though sometimes, still gotta slap a few, remind people that, yo, I can't get hold of your asses. But then, you gotta pull back into your proper position. Yes. Attends, tu sais, Christelle, pour venir. Si tu peux, vraiment, ça sera une belle soirée. All right, yo. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. I'm gonna finish cooking. It's a bit late. The day was busy today, so I'm gonna eat a little something light, and then I'm gonna chill. All right, yo. Have a beautiful week. Peace, family.